I love your Aunt Nancy. I owe her a great deal for my personal growth as a young man. I even call her my Aunt Nancy. Please tell her I said hello.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 Letterkenny moments.
Say, what's the deal with your sweetie there, Squirrely Dan?
Hey! Didn't they teach you how to pipe down at CJEP?
C'est quoi son problème?
For this list, we'll be looking at the best scenes from the sitcom Letterkenny, be they chirps, fistfights, or just silly, fun nonsense. Even though it is impolite to kiss and tells, we will be discussing important scenes from the series, so a spoiler alert is in effect. What are your favorite moments from the iconic Canadian comedy? Let us know in the comments below. Pitter patter!
If you like what you're hearing, be sure to check out the full song at the link below.
Number 10. Wayne's first opponent in the toughest guy competition. In the series premiere, we're told that Wayne's fighting ways have changed due to the influence of his now ex-girlfriend Angie.
After you're dust up over the weekend, safe to assume you're fighting again?
Correct.
10-4, good buddy.
But with that relationship having ended, it's just a matter of time before Wayne reclaims his crown as the toughest guy in the community of Letterkenny.
Sled Ted's here.
First on the list of challengers is Sled Ted, so named for his love of all things snowmobiling. And this scrap has everything. A bangin' soundtrack, degens at the end of the laneway, slow-mo fisticuffs, and a very clear victory for the leader of the Hicks. If you don't know who the toughest guy in Letterkenny is, you'd better check yourself. Number 9. Meeting the Shamrockets. Feeling directionless in Season 5, Riley and Jonesy agreed to join their old coach in leading a 2-time Hockey League winner.
Let's go! Yeah!
What they don't realize is that it's the local women's team, the Letterkenny Shamrockettes.
What are you two doing?
Sorry, boys. Ladies.
We didn't know you were ladies, boys. Not lady boys. We didn't know you were ladies.
You think the door is open to everyone here?
Their first meeting with the team does not go smoothly, with the girls, or ladies, women, not being very inviting. The boys knew going in that the team had a problem with a battle for leadership. They witnessed it firsthand in this scene, where the team leaders, Betty Ann and Marianne, take turns chirping each other's mitts, which in this case is not a reference to hockey equipment.
Your mitt looks like I squeezed a cherry red popsicle with a handful of dryer lint.
Meet your new team, pheasants.
Number 8. Can a baby be considered smart? There's no telling what subjects might come up at the breakfast table with friends, and this scene is a great example.
The stupidest thing I ever heard in my life is that a baby is smart.
Who but our beloved Hicks would even care if babies can be considered smart? And Nancy's opinion notwithstanding, Wayne is unconvinced, prompting Dan and Daryl to take him on in a battle of wits.
Now what about that suggests I ought to be navigating uncharted neurological pathways in the brain?
Despite Wayne's very well thought out and dramatized arguments, it seems as though this debate is not over. What do yous guys think? Can babies be smart, or is a baby grabbing your thumb just a baby grabbing your thumb? This hot debate may never get sorted, but it's certainly good for a laugh.
You suppose you could make the same argument for a dog, but at least you don't have to wipe a dog's poopy bum, do you?
Number 7. Daryl's super soft birthday party. You do not mess with tradition.
Every year, Daryl's mom used to throw him these birthday parties when he was a kid.
Softest birthday party on planet Earth.
Boy band karaoke, cupcake decoration station, charcuterie.
If Daryl's mom thought it was worthwhile to repeatedly embarrass him with super soft birthday parties throughout his childhood, it only makes sense that his best buddies would continue the tradition into adulthood. What makes a birthday party super soft are things like sweet drinks with silly names, cupcake stations, and farm animals doubling as unicorns.
Derry. Hey, Derry. This one's for you.
This party would surely have been the softest ever had Joint Boy not shown up with his troupe of surly uncles to challenge Wayne's title as toughest guy in Letterkenny.
You're interrupting a party for my best pal that my little sister worked pretty hard to put on. Hold it. May I sort this out now, please?
Goddamn right you may.
Nonetheless, this tradition is so strong that fans of the show sometimes have their own super soft birthday parties. Number 6, the Letterkenny leave.
Maybe it's time to get going.
Agreed.
How do we do that?
When the McMurrays invite you to a party, and that party gets weird, you might need to find a way of escaping. And to be clear, when the McMurrays are hosting, it always gets weird. And so that's when you use the Letterkenny leave.
Guess what?
What?
This very well may call for the old Turkish takeoff.
What's Turkish takeoff?
That's when you pull a fire alarm, leave with a stranger.
Guess what?
What?
This very well may call for the old Tokyo sayonara.
What's Tokyo Sayonara?
Well, that's when you leave, but you only say goodbye to the cat.
In this scene, things are not going smoothly at the McMurray's soiree, and the Hicks discuss possible methods of exiting the party. They end with the Letterkenny leave, which entails walking through a sliding glass door after stealing a case of beer. With the situation not yet being that dire, they decide that it's best to wait and see if things escalate. But they've always got this iconic exit in their back pocket if need be.
I don't think we're there just yet, but you know what? Let's continue to monitor the situation.
Number 5, Shoresy chirping and reffing.
Shoresy?
Everyone in Letterkenny would likely agree that, in a world of chirping, Shoresy is the uncrowned champion. After all, he basically exists only to make Riley and Jonesy uncomfortable with his incessant comments about his activities with their respective mothers.
I'd still smash you both if I was bored, but Riley and Jonesy's mums get too jealous. Make yourselves useful, grab me a bag of dill picklers.
The moment that we chose to immortalize on the list, however, is the time Shoresy took a break from reffing a Shamrockets game to take a few shots of his own. No one is safe when Shoresy gets on a roll, and the chirps may not even be the best part.
Your lives are so sad, I get a charity tax break just for hanging out with you. Nice sweep, no sweet, give your balls a tug.
Check out that fancy skating. Shoresy delivers on all levels. Number 4, Daryl and the one-eyed sheet. The people of Letterkenny don't seem to have a clue about their Mennonite neighbors, leading to many absurd claims and theories. In this case, Daryl says that sometimes Mennonites trick unsuspecting gentlemen into impregnating their young women in order to expand the bloodline.
How did you stay out of special ed running with an old wives' tale like
It's not an
that?
old wives'
Yes,
tale.
it is. That is straight
It's not
up
an old
life
wives'
skills.
tale.
Yes, it is.
It
an old
happened in
wives'
Dickskin.
No, it never.
Yes, it did.
No, it never.
Yes, it did.
Okay, Derry, okay.
According to Jim Dickens, the act must be holy, so it's done through a hole in a sheet, allegedly.
Well, what's with the sheet?
I'm told Schmellies remove all physical and visual contact, aside from penile, vagile, of course, to keep the sex limited to procreation purposes and deter it from becoming a little more English, as they call it.
But when local Mennonite Noah Dick asks for help on his farm, you help him no matter what nefarious plans he might have. The Hicks offer a hand and all is well until Daryl believes he's found evidence that supports their greatest fears. As usual, Daryl is largely mistaken, but boy can those Mennonites run. Number 3, Katie raps about the takedown of Dirks.
Boy, don't say you're sorry. My life's a safari. I'm drinking Campari. I'm playing Atari.
At the end of the 8th season, Katie finds out that her American boyfriend, Dirks, has been stepping out on her. This leads to his season ending, albeit off-camera beatdown. The original spoken word rap that opens season 9, however, tells the story of this savage takedown. The imagery in the poem is striking, with Katie likening herself to a Ferrari and a Targaryen from Game of Thrones.
I'm like a Targaryen, spitting straight up Valerian. Out here not carrying, out here Doncharian. You're arbitrarian, you out there ferrying.
Dirks fares far worse, being called a disaster, as a reminder that her crew did indeed amass and put his arm in a cast. When Katie spits, it's equal parts fire and truth.
Only real men get this.
Number 2, Squirrely Dan's romantic experience. The boys were hucking the ball around the other day, and Dan opens up about a recent date with his sweetie. Despite it being stated many times that it's impolite to kiss and tell, Dan does just that.
We did French, that much I will reveal.
According to Dan, his sweetie suggested that she might throw him a curveball betwixt the sheets, as they say. Wayne and Daryl are shocked.
I take that as a hard no, I guess?
They exclude Dan from the ball hucking, even as Dan continues to describe the act, what it entailed, and even how good it felt.
It feels pretty good, you guys, okay?
Popfly.
I really liked it.
Could be, it really is impolite to kiss and tell after all. Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Happy Hour with the Hicks. Wrasslin' Puns with Pals.
More like Jan Michaels.
Well, that was stone cold, Blaine.
That was a wee bit Randy Savage, Waynes.
The senior men finally chirp. The rest of the players learn to trash talk.
All right, boys, now add a little English on it.
Add a little hot sauce, boys.
A little habanero pepper ferta.
Add a little ghost pepper fertile.
Meeting les Hicks. Meeting the French doppelgangers of our beloved Hicks.
I would rather have Celine Dion.
Ah yes. J'ai pas compris ce que t'as dit, mais j'ai entendu Céline Dion sur un ton hostile.
Y'a personne qui parle de Céline Dion avec un ton hostile, ok?
Céline Dion, là, c'est un trésor national, un vrai ange. On aime quand c'était notre propre mère.
Moist puns. Possibly the worst word ever.
Don't tell that to the good folks in Moist Jaw, Saskatchewan.
Or the good folks of Miramoisty, New Brunswick, where they love shucking moisters.
Don't forget about Moist Fist, Tennessee.
The Mississippi's a great river.
You ever been to Moistigraw?
No, but I've been to the Rocky Moisten Range in the United States of Amoistica.
I will fight you.
Picking stones. Speaking of Stuart's manhood.
Well, what's the evaluation?
I'd hear an assessment.
You wanna what? Look like a tall boy can of Red Bull hanging there.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Chirping at a couple of hockey players.
A couple hockey players come up the produce stand the other day.
To think, it all started when some hockey players came up to the produce stand the other day. The initial scene in the series serves brilliantly as an introduction to many of the tropes and jokes the series offers. It has a beautiful and confident Katy cat, a pair of enthusiastic but dumb hockey players, childishly funny wordplay, and the Hicks regulating the entire affair.
Almost bitter. Tarps off, boys. You looking for a Tilly, buddy? Let's have a Donnybrook!
It also introduced us to such quotables as Treasure Trail, Tilly, and of course Donnybrook. Who among us hasn't handed out some free literature the odd time? Who doesn't enjoy a little tasteful, backward pageantry? Welcome to Letterkenny.
This isn't over!
Jinx, you owe me a Coke.
Do you agree with our picks? Let us know in the comments. And hey, if you're a fan of the song playing right now, be sure to check out the music video for it right here.
I get up, check my phone to see